Alright everybody, what is going on? It is your boy C4, and today I'm going to be breaking down the top 5 inside/middle linebackers for the 2014 NFL Draft, as well as throwing you some player pro comparisons. So as always, I go through 5 through run and adding a sleeper when necessary, and of course we got a sleeper here when talking about middle linebackers. We're going to start with Max Bullough, the inside middle linebacker from Michigan State, 6'3", 265 pounds, projected around a 4.8 40. Had a little bit of off-field issues, ended up missing the Rose Bowl after he got suspended. Can't remember what he actually got suspended for, but he's an absolute beast of a tackler. But the fact that he's probably going to be a little slow and has off-field issues, this does not remind you of Vontaze Burfict from a couple years ago with Arizona State. Vontaze Burfict was very slow, known as just a pure tackler with good tackle instincts, had off-field issues. That's what Max Bullough brings to the table. I think that he obviously will slip super far in the draft, but I think that once he gets an actual opportunity to play a new environment, out of the college environment, he will excel. So that's why I have him there. Compared with Vontaze Burfict. At number 5, we're going to Christian Jones, who can play outside or inside linebacker, which is why I compare him with Danny Trevathan from the Denver Broncos. I think that he has good speed. The fact that he's pretty good in coverage is why I think he may be able to excel as a middle linebacker. Depending on whatever system he gets involved with. He's great pursuit, good at chasing down run plays. I definitely think he does need to develop, but after maybe a year or two, he can definitely become a full-time, every down player. But obviously, he's kind of like almost a Swiss Army knife type player, because he can play outside or inside. So I think whatever team gets him will have themselves a Danny Trevathan type player. Number 4, we're going with Yawin Smallwood from University of Connecticut. This actually may be a surprising grade for him, but I have him as a very poor man's Brian Urlacher coming out of college. He's 6'3", 236 pounds, 4'6", 840, super athletic, but I think he's severely undersized for a middle linebacker, kind of like Brian Urlacher was coming out of college, being a converted safety. I think that he's definitely going to need to gain some weight to be an every down linebacker, but with that kind of speed that he's going to bring and how small he is, he's going to be an excellent pass rusher, great in coverage, going to be able to drop back, has good hands, finished the year with UConn with 118 tackles, which is very, very impressive. I think that with, obviously a full season with a weight program with an NFL team, he will be able to really develop into an every down back. But I think at 236 pounds for a middle linebacker, that's just not enough to do that. But he also had 7.5 tackles for a loss this year, 8 passes broken up, 1 interception, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. And in the game against Michigan, he had 13 tackles, 1 sack. So definitely can show up in the more important games that UConn had. But again, poor man's Brian Urlacher. There you have it. Number 3, we have Shane Borland, Chris Borland, the middle linebacker from Wisconsin. For me, I have him compared as a Zach Thomas, pretty much the same build as Zach Thomas. He's 5'11", 250 pounds, very, very strong, pretty good in coverage, not a liability by any means. But he does have a tendency to get out of position, but he is a very, very productive run defender. You got to be able to, definitely be able to jam tight ends across the middle, disrupt the passing that way. I don't really know how great he will be in coverage. He's not a liability, but I think because of his height, if you have him covering deep down in the middle and not at the line of scrimmage, he will struggle quite some bit. But he has a great attitude, great work ethic. So that's why we compare him to the legendary, ultimately Miami Dolphin middle linebacker Zach Thomas. Number 2, we have Shane Skov, the middle linebacker for the Stanford Cardinal. Right now, we have Shane Skov being compared with Dannell Ellerbe of the Miami Dolphins. Ellerbe was pretty much slated to be the replacement for Ray Lewis there in Baltimore. Ultimately, it did not work out. He took the paycheck and went to Miami. But I basically think that, much like Ellerbe, Shane Skov will be able to be very good in the run. He can also get after the quarterback if they want to use him in a blitz thing. But I think that the fact that he probably is a little bit better than Ellerbe in coverage. He's just an athletic freak. I think with how the NFL is really going with, you need your linebackers to not. Before it was always, you always had your great tackling linebackers. Now you need linebackers that can not only tackle very well, but be effective in coverage. I think Skov's that's what's going to help him elevate him over the guys like Shane Borland, who are pretty much almost drafted the same grade. With Skov being more talented in the coverage game, you may be more inclined to get him depending of what you need in your defense. But yes, Shane Scov, pro comparison, Donnell Ellerbe. Moving on to the number 1 middle linebacker, and that will be C.J. Mosley of the C.J. Mosley of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Let's just get my notes here. Fuck! Right now I have C.J. Mosley compared with Sean Lee of the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, it feels gross comparing someone to Dallas Cowboys, but Sean Lee is pretty much a make or break for that Dallas defense. When he's in the game, they're very, very good. When he's not, they're not very good. And if you need to, kind of risk a first-round pick on a middle linebacker, C.J. Mosley is the type of guy you're going to need. Very, very good in the run, good on taking on blocks, good in pass coverage, able to make the play against, anytime you try to go over the middle. Can be able to jam and cover tight ends. I think that Mosley has the potential to be one of the best every down middle linebackers in the NFL, which is why he has such a high grade, so that's why we compare him to Sean Lee. But there you have it, guys. Those are your top 5 middle linebackers for the 2014 NFL Draft. As always, leave in the comment section below who you think will be the best middle/inside linebacker for this draft class, and smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to Beast Mode TV, your home for 2014 NFL Draft player comparisons and all that good shit. Till next time, guys, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.
The offensive line was just too slow to pick him up. By the time they saw him, it was just too late.